Okay, Hare Krishna. We continue our discussion on Chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita. So last week, not last week, in the last class, we stopped at 2.47. We discussed the art of working, how to work with the detachment from the results of your work. Today we'll continue from 2.48. So 2.48, 49, Krishna explains what is the result of working in Nishkama Karma mode. 2.47, the Karmanye Vadikaraste, the most famous shloka. Krishna, in simple words, Krishna talks about Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay? Now, what is the benefit of practicing Nishkama Karma Yoga? What is the benefit of practicing Karmanye Vadikaraste principle? Yogastha kuru karmani sangham tyaktva dhananjaya. सिद्ध्य सिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So in this second chapter, Krishna talks about very important instructions, starting from art of tolerance in 2.14, and then 2.47, art of working, and towards end of this chapter, there will be two more important principles. One is, what are the symptoms of a Sthita Prajna person? Sthita Prajna means a person who has a steady mind in all situations, whether favorable, unfavorable. Person who has a steady mind in all situations. What are the symptoms of such a person? Such a person is called saintly person. So Arjuna asks, how does a saintly person walk? How does a saintly person sit? How does a saintly person talk? But this is a cryptic coded language. How does a person sit? Do we care? How does a saintly person sit? No, that's not important. How does a Sthita Prajna person stand? Do we care? How does he stand? How does a Sthita Prajna person walk? We don't care. How does a Sthita Prajna person talk? That we care. But when Arjuna is asking, how does he sit? How does he stand? How does he walk? There is a crypted, and it's a coded language. Arjuna means to ask, how does a Sthita Prajna person engage his senses? How does he walk means, how does a Sthita Prajna person engage his senses? How does a Sthita Prajna person sit means, how does he withdraw his senses? Standing is engaging senses. Walking is engaging his senses. Sitting is withdrawing his senses. Saintly person is an expert who knows when to engage senses and how to engage the senses in the right way. And he also knows when to withdraw the senses. And Krishna will give an example of a tortoise. Okay. So anyway, we'll discuss those things when we come to that section. So that's a very important section which has some practical lessons for all of us in day-to-day life. So that's about Sthita Prajna. Okay, qualities of a Sthita Prajna person. And then after that, Krishna talks about the process of fall down. 8-step process of fall down. How does a person from a higher consciousness fall down to lower consciousness? We see in the society also, people at some point they are well behaved and they are in a good position financially. Their mental state is also good. But after a few years, if you see them, they're totally broke, either financially or health-wise or mental state-wise. They're completely broke. I have a personal experience with one of my teachers, who taught me computer science, like 20 plus years ago, when I was studying, he taught, and we used to worship him. He was an expert in C, C++ language. So there are so many other faculties, but no one was able to teach like this person. And also Unix. He was an expert in Unix. So we used to worship him. We used to adore him. uh, he was very tall, very handsome, coming from a Brahmin family. Uh, but now, of late, I have heard horrible things about him from my another friend, mutual friend. So his consciousness, his state has completely deteriorated. So he married one of the students only, my co-student. He married one of the students only, and then how things turned out after that, how this person has degraded, it was totally unbelievable. Totally unbelievable. If you look at him 20 plus years ago, right? He is like, in Telugu we say Ramudu Manchi Baludu, right? So he was like that. He was exactly like that. But how he has degraded, oh, I could not even imagine this person will behave like this. So what is the root cause of fall down? Why a person falls down from higher consciousness to lower consciousness? So Krishna talks about all that in 5 or 6 shlokas towards the end. Okay, the process of fall down. So this chapter has lot of life lessons. Second chapter has lot of life lessons. So in my other batch that I teach Bhagavad Gita in Bothal, we are in 6th chapter. Um, but yesterday, one of the participants in the class, she messaged me saying that her most favorite instruction in Bhagavad Gita is Art of Tolerance, 2.14. We are in 6th chapter, but still, she's still in 2nd chapter. She's still relishing that Art of Tolerance, 2.14. So now you can understand how important this chapter is, how powerful these instructions are. So it can change your life. Yeah, it can change your life. So So let's recite this shloka also, and then we'll discuss these two. Actually, 2.50 also. दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणा फलहेतवः. O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह उभे सुकृत दुष्कृते तस्माद् योगाय युज्यस्व योगकर्मसु कौशलम्. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in his life, even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. So the last line, yoga karmasu kaushalam. Uh, that means the art of working. Seeing work as yoga, seeing work as a process to connect with God. That is art of working. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Kaushalam means the skill. Kaushalam means the skill or art of doing something. For example, somebody, let's say somebody is good at baking cake and decorating with nice icing and all of that stuff. So that's a kaushalam. That's an art of baking. Okay, like that. Uh, if you learn the art of seeing your work as a process to connect with God, that work becomes yoga. Yoga Karmasu Kausalam. So the details of this Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam, or the details of this expertise or skill, has been given in the previous four shlokas, 47, 8, 9 and 50. So we'll discuss these three shlokas now. Okay, 2.48. So 2.48, Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya Siddhya Siddhyo Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Okay. Sushant, can you read the purport?
Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon Supreme by controlling the ever disturbing senses. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord.
Can you close the door?
And because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight, gain or victory, or Krishna's concern. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness only can one give up the sense of
Proprietorship.
proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and as such he is participating in the Varnashrama Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Purana that in the Varnashrama Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself, as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. So, unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him.
Yeah. English, when you read the sentences like this, right? Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna. If you pause there, the whole meaning changes. Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna. Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him. Yeah. So after explaining about Karmanye Vadikaraste principle, now Krishna is coming to the business, right? So he gave an instruction, and then now he's asking Arjuna to act on that instruction. So perform your duty equipoised, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So the process of identifying profit or loss, failure or success, honor or dishonor, happiness or distress, that is Krishna's job. As Prabhupada writes in the purport, gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Our job is just to act as an instrument in the hand of Krishna. Because Krishna has already decided, and he has already done the match fixing. What's going to happen? It's already fixed. Okay? So Krishna knows what's going to happen. And if there is an instruction from Krishna, he knows what is best for us. That's why he's giving that instruction for us. He will not say something to us which is not beneficial to us. So if there is an instruction from Krishna, we should take that as a bullet, silver bullet instruction, and then simply blindly follow that. I mean, until we develop some kind of faith to follow Krishna's words, we have to study like this, like how we are doing every week. We have to study like this, so that the more we hear, the more faith we develop on Krishna. So once we develop faith, then we'll simply blindly follow the instructions of Krishna. So the gain or victory are Krishna's concern. We don't have to, scratch our head figuring out what's going to happen if I do this. Will I succeed or not? Looks like the situations are little unfavorable. I may not succeed, so I better not do this job at all. I better not work at all. So in 2.47, Krishna gave a warning that don't be attached to not doing your work. Mate sangost akarmani. Don't be attached to not doing your work. Because Krishna asked to give away the results of your work, right? So when you hear that, you may not be inspired to work at all, unless you have the knowledge why Krishna is saying that. So Krishna is saying that for our own good sake, because if we are working with attachment to the results, and if there is a failure, we will be disturbed. So Krishna is asking to work without attachment, without abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So the most important thing is, Prabhupada is writing here about Varnashrama system. In Varnashrama system, there are 4 Varnas and there are 4 Ashramas. The 4 Varnas are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. The 4 divisions in the society. Or you can say 4 castes. And ashramas are also 4. What are the 4 ashramas? Grihastha, Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi. Okay? Let me put it this way. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi. Because a Brahmachari can become a Grihastha, or he can directly go to Sannyasa ashrama. After practicing Brahmacharyam for a few years, if he gets the confidence that he'll be able to spend the rest of his life as Brahmachari, he can continue as Brahmachari for next 20-30 years, and eventually he can take up Sannyasa order of life. Or if he thinks that he is not able to maintain Brahmacharyam properly, he wants to have a family life, then he can go to Grihastha-ashrama. And from Grihastha-ashrama, everybody should go to Vanaprastha. After 50 years of age, they have to go to Vanaprastha-ashrama. The men have to go to the Vanaprastha-ashrama. They have to leave the wife in the care of grown-up children and then go to Vanaprastha. They have to go to a secluded place. I know some women also want to lead a secluded place. They want to focus completely on bhakti. So that is Vanaprastha. And from Vanaprastha, a person can go to Sannyasa ashrama. And the 4 Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all these divisions are made so that people can perform their prescribed duties based on their guna and karma, based on their qualities and their inclination to act in a particular way. For example, somebody has leadership qualities. They always want to manage people. If they have that kind of mindset, they can go to Kshatriya ashrama, Kshatriya varna. They belong to Kshatriya varna. Okay. Or if somebody has a mentality to do business, they have this mindset to do business. Okay. somebody is good at numbers and they are good at business, they can go to um, Vaishya, Vaishya Varna. So responsibilities of Vaishya category of people are business, farming, cow protection. Business, farming and cow protection. And then responsibilities of a Brahmana person is to preach, okay, to preach Vedas, to teach Vedas to others, to do Paurohityam, uh, to do deity worship, worship of the Archa Vigraha of the Lord, uh, all these things, to perform samskaras, to perform Vedic rituals. So these are the responsibilities of a Brahmana. So Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Shudra is a servant class. They will work for the other three classes of men. Shudras will work for Vaishya, Shudras will work for Kshatriya, Shudras will also work for Brahmanas. Uh, so when now there are two approaches, right? One approach is not following any varnashrama system and working whimsically. If somebody does that, uh, they cannot practice karmanye vadikaraste principle, because this varnashrama system is a platform to practice karmanye vadikaraste principle, nishkama karma yoga. And from this platform, this platform is like a launching pad to practice bhakti. So at the lowest stage, a person is not following any system, no varnashrama system. From that lowest stage, one has to come to this varnashrama system. Varnashrama system is a platform or a launching pad to practice bhakti. So after practicing varnashrama system for a few years, then they can, after getting some level of purification, they can practice bhakti. Okay. The important principle in this varnashrama system, this is also called as Daivi Varnashrama system. Daivi Varnashrama system means in this system, God is the center. God is the center. Daivi Varnashrama system. So whatever you do, whether a Brahmana is doing some preaching or Vaishya is doing business, farming, cow protection, the goal is to keep God in the center. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. The perfection of human life by following this Varnashrama system is Haritoshanam. Toshanam means to satisfy. Haritoshanam means to satisfy the Lord Hari. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. The perfection of human life is to satisfy Lord Hari. So whatever you do, if you are satisfying Lord Hari, then that is the perfection of your life. And how can we satisfy the Lord? When we are following His instructions as it is, and pleasing the Lord. When we follow His instructions as it is and working in that way, the Lord is pleased automatically. Just like a father is pleased when the child is obedient, listens to the instructions of the father or mother, right? Isn't that so? Do you follow? Yeah? All the time? Sometimes. So your mother is happy sometimes, not happy other times. Yeah. So you have to make your mother happy all the time. Okay? And your father too. Yeah. Or you take the job of making your mother happy, and your brother will take the job of making your father happy. So, so like that, Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. Our job is to please the Lord. When the Lord is pleased, everyone is pleased. Not only you, but entire society, entire community, entire world is pleased. When the Lord is pleased, everyone is pleased. Because the Lord will share the happiness with everyone. Okay? I mean, Lord is anyway happy. He's Atmaram. We don't have to make him happy. But when Samsiddhir Haritoshanam means the process by which you can get happiness. That's the goal. And how you can get happiness? By acting according to the Lord's instructions. The Lord is pleased and you are also pleased. Okay? So if the parent is happy, child is happy, right? Automatically. If the parent is not happy, then that cascades into children's behavior also. Um, so this is the process of this varnashrama system. So here Arjuna is a Kshatriya. That's why Krishna is strongly encouraging Arjuna to fight based on this principle of varnashrama system, that you follow your Kshatriya duty of this varnashrama system and fight. Don't worry about success or failure. Your job is to perform your duty as a Kshatriya. Now once you have taken up some varna and some ashrama, you have to stick to that. You cannot say that, oh no, it looks like I cannot do this, let me go to other varna. You cannot keep changing your varna and ashrama. You experiment all four varnas, all four ashramas, and then you figure out within reasonable amount of time, you figure out what is correct fitment for you, and you stick to that. Okay. By the way, it's not by birth. The varnashrama system is not by birth. People often get confused that the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra are decided by birth. It's not by birth. It is based on qualities and the type of work that you do. So guna and karma, not janma. Krishna explains this in 4th chapter. How he has divided these 4 divisions in the society. Krishna explains that in 4th chapter. So it is based on guna and karma. Okay. So this is about this shloka 48. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva. Siddhi asiddhi. Siddhi means success. Asiddhi means failure. So both in success and failure, samo bhutva, be equipoised and fight. Okay. Next, 2.49. दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणा फलहेतवः. Chandrakala, you want to read? Translation and purport both.
O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distance by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. One who has actually come to understand one's constitutional position as an eternal servitor of the Lord gives up all engagements save working in Krishna consciousness. As already explained, Buddhi Yoga means transcendental loving service to the Lord. Such devotional service is the right course of action for the living entity. Only misers desire to enjoy the fruit of their own work just to be further entangled in material bondage. Except for work in Krishna consciousness, all activities are abominable because they continually bind the worker to the cycle of birth and death. One should therefore never desire to be the cause of work. Everything should be done in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Krishna. Misers do not know how to utilize the assets of riches which they acquire by good fortune or by hard labor. One should spend all energies working in Krishna consciousness, and that will make one's life successful. Like misers, unfortunate persons do not employ their human energy in the service of the Lord.
So, Durena Hyavaram Karma Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya. Now, Krishna is saying, keep all abominable activities far distant. Now, what kind of abominable activity Arjuna has performed here? Abominable activity means like killing somebody, uh, doing some grave mistake, that is abominable. That is considered abominable. Now, what abominable activity has Arjuna done? He has not done anything. He has not killed anyone. In fact, he doesn't want to even kill anyone. Krishna is only encouraging to kill. So, Krishna is only encouraging Arjuna to commit abominable activity. So, here, the reason why Krishna says, keep all abominable activities far distant, Krishna means to say that the the decision of not fighting, being a Kshatriya and not fighting, that itself is a sinful activity. That itself is a abominable activity. Abominable activity means any activity that will incur sinful reaction to you, like killing somebody. It will incur sinful reaction. So, but for a Kshatriya, if you don't fight, if you don't fight and kill, that is a sinful reaction. That is a sinful activity. That's why Krishna is saying, keep all your abominable activities far distant by practicing Buddhi Yoga, devotional service. And in that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. Now, why did Arjuna abandon fighting? Because he doesn't want to see all of his relatives dying. He doesn't want to be the cause of the death of his relatives. Okay? So in that sense, he doesn't want to he doesn't want to see the suffering of the family members of Kauravas. After Kauravas are dead, if the men are dead, there'll be women who will be, mourning for them, right? So Arjuna does not want to see that, which is good from, certain Shastric point of view. From Dharma Shastra, Artha Shastra point of view, that is good. But higher than that is the Bhakti Yoga principle. Higher than that, higher than the Vedas is Bhakti Yoga principle. According to Bhakti Yoga principles, a Kshatriya, even if he has to fight and kill thousands of people for protecting Dharma, then Kshatriya should perform his duty. Okay? And if he does not do that, then it is sinful activity. If a person does not perform his duty and he is only worried about his own profit and loss, such a person is called miser. Okay? Kripana. Kripana phalahetavaha. Buddhau sharanam anvicha kripana phalahetavaha. So, if a person is concerned about his own profit and loss, he's selfish, right? That means he has a narrow mind. His thinking is narrow-minded. Whereas the human potential is such that it can achieve bigger things. It is not narrow-minded. The human potential is not, it's not narrow. Human potential has the scope of achieving bigger things. Now, what is that big thing? The big thing is attaining that Paramapada. That's why this human birth is given. Animals are not given with this ability to think, to question, to understand the spiritual knowledge. Animals are not given this ability. But why human beings are given this ability is to get out of this material world and attain Paramapada. So we have that potential. If we don't leverage that potential, if we don't utilize this ability given to us and strive for that highest goal, then we are called a miser. Now what Arjuna was thinking is like a miser. Arjuna was thinking that, okay, let me go to a secluded place. I don't want to deal with this all fighting and ghastly warfare. I don't want to see the mourning of the family members when the Kauravas are dead. Even if I win the kingdom, what am I going to do when the family members are not there? How can I enjoy? So he was doing this profit and calculation. For who? For himself. That means he was thinking with a narrow mind. Now Krishna is asking Arjuna to come out of that narrow mindset and think big. Think big, like a Brahmana, not a Krupana. Krupana, the opposite of that is Brahmana. Krupana means miser. Brahmana means a person, a learned person who can achieve Brahman platform. Brahma Jhanati iti Brahmanaha. So a Brahmana has the ability to attain Brahma Tattva. So instead of attaining Brahma Tattva, or instead of striving to attain Brahma Tattva, if somebody is doing this profit and loss calculation, what is good? Will this be good for me or not? Will this be profitable for me or not? If somebody is doing like that, then he is a miser, Kripana. So by saying this, Krishna is giving an instruction to all of us that since we have taken this human birth, we should not be doing this profit and loss calculation. We should not be so worried about small things in life. Oftentimes people, they make a big scene about small things also. So it's not even worth fighting for those small things. But people will make a big scene, and people will fight a lot for small things. We have seen people fighting for a seat in the train, right? There'll be a big fight for the seat in the train, and people will continue fighting throughout the train journey, and they both get onto the platform. The train is gone, but the fighting is still going on. So we are not boarding the train for the seat. We are boarding the train to reach the destination. A wise person, a learned person, when he sees that the other person, a foolish person, is so adamant and he's picking up a big fight, a wise person should keep quiet. For his own peace of mind, he should just let things go and reach the destination peacefully and smoothly. Uh, Otherwise, what's the point in fighting throughout the journey and even after the train has gone? The train has gone, and they are on the platform of the railway station, and they have even forgotten why they were fighting for. What was the reason for which they were fighting for? So this is all because of this profit and loss calculation. Hmm? Um, So here Prabhupada is writing in the purport, except for work in Krishna consciousness, all activities are abominable because they continually bind the worker to the cycle of birth and death. That means even the so-called good actions, even the so-called sukarma is also abominable. What Arjuna was proposing to Krishna was sukarma only, right? Sukarma means good action. Vikarma means bad action. So what Arjuna was proposing to Krishna was sukarma. Arjuna was quoting Shastric references, saying that according to this Shastra, it is abominable to kill the family members. And he says that according to certain code in the Shastras, it is okay to kill aggressors. But if the aggressors are your family members, you cannot kill them. So he gives so many Shastric references, and he doesn't want to kill, which is good. According to those Shastras, it is good. So Arjuna has a valid argument. But Krishna is saying that that is abominable. Even that so-called good action, sukarma, is also abominable. Because it is binding. It is binding Arjuna in the material world. It keeps him bound in the material world. So the so-called sukarma, good action, and vikarma, both are abominable. Anything that keeps us bound in the material world is abominable. And anything that liberates us from this material world is um, an activity in the Krishna consciousness. Is an activity done in Krishna consciousness. An activity to please the Lord. Samsiddhir haritoshanam. Okay. That's why in the end, Krishna, after speaking all uh, chapters of Bhagavad Gita, in the very end, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityaja. Abandon all varieties of religion. Okay? Uh, abandon all instructions of Vedas. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Surrender unto me means what? We must be ready to do whatever Krishna asks us to do. Whether it is uh, morally correct or incorrect according to Shastra, we should be ready to do that. Because Bhakti and Bhagavan, they come higher than, they are superior to Vedas or anything else. They are superior to Dharma. They are superior to Vedas. The definition of Dharma, by the way, what is the definition of Dharma? When Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion, Dharma. Religion means Dharma, right? So what's the definition of Dharma? Duty, okay. More specifically. What is Dharma? Basics, fundamentals. Responsibility, okay. Yeah.
The code of conduct and ethics.
Code of conduct and ethics, okay. What else? Righteousness, we have heard, right? Righteousness, following the right path is Dharma. Huh? Anything else? Dharma. So the correct definition of Dharma is, these are all valid reasons, valid answers, but the correct definition of Dharma is, whatever Bhagavan says, that is Dharma. Whatever Bhagavan says, that is Dharma. Sometimes you'll also hear another definition, whatever Vedas say, that is Dharma. It is also correct, but partially. The more precise and correct answer is, whatever Bhagavan says is Dharma. Whatever Bhagavan says, that is Dharma. Because sometimes whatever is mentioned in the Vedas, the Bhagavan can say something opposite to that. Just like how he told to Arjuna. Right? In certain section of Vedas, it was mentioned not to kill these people. And Krishna has told complete opposite to that. And that becomes Dharma. So whatever Krishna says, or whatever Bhagavan says, that is Dharma. If he asks to kill, that becomes Dharma. If he asks to steal, that becomes Dharma. Because he has shown by his own activity of stealing, as Krishna in Vrindavan, he has shown us how stealing butter, it was Dharma. So whenever Bhagavan says to steal, yes, we have to steal. Whenever Bhagavan says to kill, you have to kill. So in simple words, Dharma means whatever God says, that is Dharma. Okay?
Even Kurukshetra also there is like this one segment where even Krishna explains like Yudhishthira to lie, right? So and he says why it is a dharma. It is not another.
Yeah.
But Yudhishthira was like conflicting, and in a sense he thought in his own way to use his own mind.
Yeah.
He thought it was dharmic to do the way he did it.
Yeah.
But it ended up being like proven the Krishna is a dharma, right? The half lie.
Yeah, he added Kunjaraha, right? Yeah, Yudhishthira used his own mind. He followed Krishna's instruction partially, and he used his own knowledge, his own mind. He added another word, kunjaraha, and for that he had to go to hell for some time. So if you follow Krishna's words as it is, dictation, it is called dictation. In Ishopanishad, this is mentioned, dictation. One must learn to take dictation from God. Dictation means what? You write notes. Whatever you hear from God, you write notes and just do as it is. No addition, no subtraction. We should not use our own mind. No addition, no subtraction. Then we'll be happy. Yeah. If we use our own mind, then things will be messed up. So, durena hyavaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhav sharanam anvicha kripana phalahetavaha. Okay? Because by performing Kshatriya duty, Arjuna will gain higher position. Even if he is killed on the battlefield, he will attain higher position. He will attain Svargaloka. And even if he wins the war, he fights, and if he wins the war, anyway he's going to enjoy the kingdom. He'll be the cause of protecting dharma, and he'll be pleasing the Lord. So for all these reasons, he will attain higher destination. So in simple words, for this shloka 2.49, Krishna is telling Arjuna that don't try to act as a Kripana, but try to act as Brahmana. Okay? Try to utilize your higher potential of achieving higher position, and don't settle with something lower. 2.50 Buddhi yukto jahati ha ube sukrita dushkrute tasmad yogaya yujyasva yoga karmasu kausalam. Yeah. So the kausalam means art, the art of working. Okay. Yeah, Sriram, you want to read?
A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work.
Yeah.
Since time immemorial, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of good and bad work. As such, he is consciously ignorant of his real constitutional position. One's ignorance can be removed by the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, which teaches one to surrender unto Lord Krishna in all aspects and become liberated from the chained victimization of action and reaction, birth after birth. Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying process of resultant action.
Yeah. So this karma yoga, nishkama karma yoga, or this karmanye vadikaraste principle, art of working, is nothing but a process, a purificatory process. Purificatory process. Now we have some contaminations in our heart. What are those contaminations? We think we are God. We think we are the master. We think we are the doer. We think we are the enjoyer. We think we are the controller. We think we are the maintainer. We think we are the proprietor. We think we are the enjoyer. We think we are everything. So these are the impurities. This is the contamination we have in our heart. So this Krishna consciousness, or in the fundamental level, karma yoga, nishkama karma yoga, this is nothing but a purificatory process, following varnashrama dharma, the varnashrama system. All of these are purificatory processes. They are meant for purifying our anarthas in our heart. When we are working and giving up the results, slowly we will get rid of the mentality of doership, enjoyership, controllership. We'll get rid of all these mentalities. If we are working and we are only enjoying, then we think we are the doer, and we think we are the controller, we think we are the enjoyer. When things go wrong, then we don't say I am the doer. When things go wrong, then we say God is the doer. But both good and bad, God is only the doer. So, yeah, people are very smart. when so there was an incident, real incident that happened. Um, a monk, a learned person, a monk was visiting a hospital, and the doctor uh, was speaking about his accomplishments, how many surgeries happened and how many patients he operated and how many successes, all those things. So he was trying to show off. The doctor was trying to show off. He was boasting about himself. Then this monk asked a nice question. In your hospital, uh, was there any incident where the operation failed and the patient died? Then the doctor said, yes, there were some cases where patients died, quite a few cases. Then the monk asked the doctor, so do you take the responsibility for that failure and for the death of the patient? The doctor said, no, I cannot take responsibility for the failure and death of the patient. Then the monk said, then how can you take responsibility for the success of the operation? Just like how you don't take responsibility for the failure, don't take responsibility for success also. So success and failure, you are only one part of it. There are other factors that can contribute to the success or failure, which are not in your control, which are beyond your control. So right now we have all these anarthas. This contamination is there in our heart. So this art of working Nishkama Karma Yoga is a purificatory process to get rid of this anarthas. Okay. Let's see if we can discuss another shloka. Okay, we'll discuss one more shloka because that's connected to this topic. 51 we'll discuss, and then that will be concluding shloka for the art of working topic, starting from 2.47 to 51. It's primarily 2.47, the art of working, but 40, 48, 49, 50, 51 are also related shlokas. So 2.41, kids, you want to recite some shlokas? Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinah. Janma bandha vinirmukta padam gacchantyanāmayam. Okay. Sharon, you want to read?
By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries. By going back to the topic. Purport. The liberated living and entities belong to that place where there are no material miseries. For one who has accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation, and is famous as Mukunda, or the giver of nothing. The ocean of the material world is like the water contained in cow's footprint, Parampadam, or the place where there are no material miseries, or Vaikuntha, is his goal, not the place where there is danger in every step of life. Owning to ignorance, one does not know that this material world is a miserable place where there are dangers at every step. Out of ignorance, only less intelligent persons try to adjust to the situation by fruitive activities, thinking that the resultant actions will make them happy. They do not know that no kind of material body anywhere within the universe can give life without miseries. The miseries of life, namely birth, death, old age, and diseases, are present everywhere within the material world. But one who understands his real constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Lord, and thus knows the position of personality of Godhead, engages himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Consequently, he becomes qualified to enter into the Vaikuntha planet, where there is neither material, miserable life, nor the influence of time and death. To know one's constitutional position means to know also the sublime position of the Lord. One who wrongly thinks that the living entity's position and and the Lord's position are on the same level is to be understood to be in darkness, and therefore unable to engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord. He becomes a Lord himself and thus paves the way for the repetition of birth and death, but one who, understanding that his position is to serve, transfers himself to the service of the Lord. At once becomes eligible for Vaikuntha Loka, service for the cause of the Lord, is called Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, or in plain words, devotional service to the Lord.
To the Lord. Okay, so here Krishna is explaining what will be the ultimate benefit of practicing this art of working, Nishkama Karma Yoga. So, what is that ultimate benefit? Padam gachanti anamayam. One will get Paramapada. Padam gachanti anamayam. The position, Padam has two meanings. Padam means position, or Padam can also mean the foot. Okay. One who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Now, what does it mean? Taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. That means surrender, right? Sharanagati. Now, what does that mean? Sharanagati means what? Surrender means what? To act according to the Lord's instructions. That is Sharanagati. Sharanagati is not simply just, offering pranam at the lotus feet of the Lord. That is not Sharanagati. That is external thing which you have to do, but the essential thing is following instructions of the Lord. That is the Sharanagati. Okay. So Padam Gachanti Anamayam, one who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, for them the highest Padam, the Paramapadam is guaranteed. Paramapadam is guaranteed. That is mentioned in the Bhagavatam shloka here. Samashritaye Padapallavaplavam Mahatpadam Punya Yasho Murare Bhavambudir Vatsa Padam Param Padam 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 Yad Vipadam Natesham. So, in this material world, there is a danger at every step. Padam Padam Yad Vipadam. Padam Padam Yad Vipadam. Padam can also mean step. Padam can also mean feet. Padam can also mean position. Okay? Padam Padam Yad Vipadam. That means there is a danger at every step. In the material world, there is a danger at every step. You turn left, there is a danger. You turn right, there is a danger. You walk front, there is a danger. Okay? That's why intelligent people or the wise people, learned people, they don't want to be entangled in this material world because there's a danger at every step. Rather, they want to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Samashrita. Samashrita means Ashrita means to take shelter. Ashray means what? Shelter, right? Samashrita means taking shelter. Taking shelter of Padam, the Padam of the Lord. That means taking instructions of, following instructions of the Lord. If Krishna is telling Karmanyevadikaraste and you are following that, then you are taking shelter of the Lord. You are doing Sharanagati. Okay? For such person, the Mahat Padam is guaranteed. Mahat Padam means the higher destination, Vaikunta, is guaranteed. Mahat Padam Punya Yasho Murare. So in the last 3-4 shlokas, Krishna has explained various details of this Karmaniya Vadikaraste principle. And then Krishna encouraged Arjuna to fight without being attached to success or failure. And eventually, Krishna is giving what is the highest benefit of following the Nishkama Karma Yoga, Karmaniya Vadikaraste principle. Okay, Padam Gachanti Anamayam. Okay. Any questions, comments, reflections? Anybody? Now all these principles, whether it is art of tolerance, art of working, and the later instructions, they may seem very hard, impossible to achieve kind of tasks, right? But no, you start small, and then you build on that. You take baby steps and build on that. Eventually, things will fall in place, and you will be able to follow these instructions as it is. Okay, 100% you will be able to follow. Because oftentimes we underestimate the power of baby steps. We underestimate the power of smaller things. We think that okay, Krishna is teaching Karmanye Vadikaraste. That means I have to be there at that level. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it all. But we have to start small, and then build on that, and then reach higher destination. So I'll tell with a small story, small example, and we'll conclude after that. There was a lady. So she went to a store and she bought some stuff. And then the next day morning, she went to the same store in India. Okay, she went to the same store and returned 10 rupees to the shop owner. The shop owner, was confused why she is coming and returning 10 rupees. The shop owner asks, why are you giving me 10 rupees now? Okay. Then the lady says that last night it was almost the time of closing the shop, and you were in a rush. I was also in a rush. In that rush, you gave me 10 rupees extra. That's why I came back to give that 10 rupees to you. But the shop owner says, but you negotiated a lot, you bargained a lot yesterday just to buy one sari. You asked me to show 1,000 saris. you bargained a lot for one sari, and now you're coming and giving 10 rupees to me. I don't understand this. Then the lady says, whatever I bargained, that is my effort. And whatever price reduction that you did, that belongs to me. But this 10 rupees is extra, is what you gave, that is extra. That doesn't belong to me. So anything that doesn't belong to me, if I take, it is not good for my children. She says that and gives it to the shop owner. The shop owner is impressed. And the last words of the lady caught his attention. That whatever does not belong to me, if it stays with me, it is not good for my children. So he was seriously thinking about that. And then the next day, he goes to another man and gives him uh, and gives him some money, some large amount of money. And he says that he gives him like 5 lakhs and says that your mother, before she passed away, she gave me 3 lakhs. Like few years ago, she gave me 3 lakhs. And with interest, now it has become like 5 lakhs. So after your mother has left, I thought nobody is going to ask me, and I never gave you that money. But this money does not belong to me. If it does not belong to me and if it stays with me, it is not good for my children. So this shop owner, he goes to another person and he repeats the same words, right? Same good words. Now the other person also is impressed. Somebody is coming all of a sudden and giving 5 lakhs. He's also impressed, especially the last words. Something that does not belong to me, if it stays with me, not good for my children. Now the next day, he goes to a lady. He goes to a lady and gives this 5 lakhs, saying that this 5 lakh, you gave to me at some point of time in the past, and I am returning it to back. And who is that lady? Huh? The first lady who came to the shop and gave 10 rupees. Huh? Now she started small, right? The good act starts small. But what is the benefit that she got? By giving 10 rupees, she got 5 lakhs. Now imagine, if we are doing small acts like this, these are called acts of kindness. Have you heard this word? Act of kindness. Act of kindness. Act of kindness or act of doing what is right, actually. You don't have to be doing what is out of your own way. Okay? Do what is the right thing to do. If we do that, then you will see miracles in your life. So, like this, any instruction that Krishna teaches, when we hear that, when we listen to all the details of it, it may feel like it's a humongous task. It's impossible. It's only for Sunday evening. Monday morning onwards, no. Mujhse nahi hoga. Not for me. We think like that. But no. Even if we do little things, even if we start small, the benefit that you are going to get is huge. The returns that you are going to get is very huge. Okay? So with that, we'll conclude here. Thank you everyone for joining. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Now time for Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Look here.
Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama.
Louder.
Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
Now you all repeat.
Hare
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare.
Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
Very good.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama.